students recorded in a class recorded how many messages they sent using different forms of messaging, text, email, instant messenger and Twitter for over 4 months. Diagram 1 shows the percentage of messages sent using each form of messaging in each of the 4 months. So we have sort of like a bar chart where the bar is broken up into different parts, okay? So let's go for January. Percentage sent by email. Now which one's email? Email is the white section. So we see that this one starts at 80, ends at 90. We see that this one starts at 80, ends at 85. This one starts at 75, ends at 80, and this one starts at 60, ends at 70. So the first one's 10%. The second one's going to be 5%. March is also 5%. What's it? 85 take away 80, still 5% as well. And April's going to be 10%. Okay, that's good. Let's move on to the next part, 10b. Complete diagram 2 showing the trends for email, IM, Twitter over the 4 months and using the data in diagram 1. Okay, so that's interesting. So they did text message. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to start off with email then, because I have the email results here. 10, 5, 5, 10. Okay, so 10, 5, 5, 10 for email. So let's do that. So here's email. We'll denote it by X. February is 5. March is 5. And April is 10. So this is a trend graph for emails. Alright, and what you tend to do is you tend to write this like X is email. Okay. And text is the diamonds. Okay. Next one we're going to look at is we're going to have to look at the other ones here. So we've done email and text already. So I'm going to go for Twitter next. Twitter is, I'll use red for Twitter. So it's 20, 25, 30, and 25. 20, 25, 30, 25. 20, 25, 30, and 25. And we'll use red dots for Twitter. Okay. Starts off at 20. Goes to 25. Goes to 30. And then goes back down to 25. Then we're going to use a red line, hopefully. There we go. And there is my trend graph for Twitter. Now finally, what we're going to do next is we've done text, Twitter. We need to do instant messenger next because we've done text. So we need IM, instant messenger, okay, which I'll do in blue. So let's find out where IM is. So IM ends at 60, starts at 20. IM is 40 for January. Starts at 25, ends at 75. So that puts it 50. Starts at 30, ends at 80. That keeps it at 50 as well. And then starts at 25, ends at 80. That puts it at 55. 40, 50, 50, 55. And the blue dots will be instant messenger. So we have blue dot here. Then we have 50 for the other blue dot. 50 for the other blue dot. And finally 55 for the last blue dot. So we get the blue dots here. And long behold, there is your question. Okay. Okie dokie. And next question. So that's diagram B done. Question 2. Below is a set menu from a restaurant. 3 course dinner is made of 1 starter, 1 main, and 1 dessert. So there's 4 starters, appears to be 5 mains, and then there's 3 desserts. So 4 by 5 by 3, that means 60 different combos, okay? So what's the question? Oh, there we go. First question already answered. Okay, so that's 60 different combinations. Okay, next part, B. The restaurant, there is a circular poster for each course where the options are represented by sectors of equal area. The posters for starter are shown. Calculate the angle of each sector of the main course poster and each sector in the dessert poster. Construct these sections in the diagrams next page. All right, so what did we say? There's 5 and 3, so 360 divided by 5 is 72 degrees for main, and 72 degrees for main, and then dessert is 360 divided by 3, which is 120 for dessert. Up. Okay. So we need 72 degrees and 120. So let's start off with main course. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here to begin with. Now, and then I'm going to get my protractor. We're hoping. There we go there. Now let's do this. Put it here. 72. So 72 is here. You can see just about 2 notches above the 110 is 2 notches above the 70. That's all good there, okay? Then you could also go for 144 because twice 72 is 144. So 140, then up for 144. Then you go in the reverse way. Flip it upside down like so. And once again, go for 72. 72 is there 70. 2 more up would be 72. So that's there. And then go for 144 because that's twice 72. About there. And long behold, and finish that line off there. And there is your graph for main courses. Actually, I should finish off the lines. Okay. What did I do in the first one? It wrote in each of the basically every it had the names in as well, so I need to grab this here. I need to send this to a new page, and I need to put these names in so I can remember all the desserts and all the cut. Okay, and let's go over here, paste this in, and make it a lot smaller because I can pretty much read what's in there now. Okay. Start with my favorite, steak. Got lamb. 72 degrees, 72 degrees, 72, 72, 72. What else do we have? We have salmon. We have spaghetti, which I always spell wrong. And what else do we have? Pizza. Okay, next thing. We need to do 120 degrees. So this one will be relatively quick compared to the last one. You can go down like this, and you can see the 120 mark is just there. So 120 is here. Then spin it around and do another 120 on top. And then when you do the two 120s, there must be 120 remaining. There you go. And this guy can be deleted. Okay, one sec. Okay, so that's that part done. See, the owner restaurant wants to increase the number of different 3-course dinners that can be ordered. She will either add 1 starter or 1 main course or 1 dessert to the menu. Which should she add to make which should you add to make the number of a tree corresponding to that equiorder as large as possible? Well, what do we currently have? I believe we currently have what's a 4 by 5 by 3. Okay, we could increase that to 5 by 5 by 3, which would be 75. That's not really much of an increase, to be honest. We could try to increase it to 4 by 6 by 3, which would be 72. Or, sorry, 4 by 6 by 3, which would be 72, not much of an increase. Or we could do 4 by 5 by 4, which would be 80. And 80 is the biggest increase of 20. So add one more dessert. And your justification is below. Okay. Now, let's move on. Question C. Etna is going to survey post-primary geography teachers in Ireland. Some of the questions in the survey are shown in the table below. Put a tick in the correct box to show what type of data each question would give. How many classes do you teach each week? Well, you either teach a class or you don't, so it's got to be discrete, numerical discrete. How much do you like teaching geography? A lot, a little, not at all. There's a bit of an order to that, so I say categorical, ordinal. What subjects other than geography do you teach? That'd be categorical, nominal, because you can't say history is better than geography or maths is better than any of them either, but you really can't. Okay. Etna is going to send her survey to some of the post-primary schools in Ireland. Describe how Etna could select a simple random sample from all the post-primary schools in Ireland. She could, first of all, get a list of all the, here we'll do it like this, let's do a bit of typing. Okay, she needs to get a list of all the post-primary schools in Ireland. And then randomly select a number of them. So what she can do is get a list and give each school a number. Then select numbers at random or pick numbers out of a hat for a random sample. Okay guys, there we go. Happy enough with that. Okay, let's move on to question 4. Alright. Question 3. Etna is thinking about sending her survey by email. State one advantage and disadvantage of using email to collect data. Advantage is it's quick, convenient and cheap. Quick, convenient, and a cheap way of distributing a survey. Disadvantage, not everyone has email, particularly the elderly, and then may go to spam. It could go to spam. Any valid reason, guys. Or it could be they could have a faulty computer at home or something like that. Okay. Question 4. A swimming pool is 1.4 meters high, 8 meters wide, and 15 meters long. Harry says the area of the bottom of the swimming pool is 8 by 15, 120 centimeters squared. What's wrong with Harry's answer? I think it should be meters squared. So that's the first thing that's wrong. It's 15 by 8, 150 meters squared. Okay. Harry will use 20 by 20 centimeters tiles to cover the inside of the pool. Find the maximum number of tiles that Harry will need to cover the inside of the pool. So, if we're talking about the inside of the pool, I reckon he's going to tile the inner walls like so. He's also going to tile the bottom of the pill like this. And he's going to be tiling all the inner walls like so. So we're going to have to find the total area of all these pieces here, okay? So we already know the first part is what's it, 8 by 15 is the bottom one. Okay, so 8 by 15 is the bottom one, which is 120 meters squared for the bottom area. Okay, let's do the side ones now, the green ones here. These two green ones are the same. So we're going to do 8 by 1.4. And because there's two of them, we need to multiply by 2. So 8 times 1.4 is 11.2 meters squared. Then another 11.2 meters squared. Okay, because there's two of them. And now we're going to go for the purple area, which is at the front, like this. And there's one at the back, like so. So that's 15 times 1.4. So there's two of them. 15x 1.4. That's 21. Now we're going to add all this together. Okay, so let's add all this up together. So we get, 120 plus 11.2 plus 11.2 plus 21 plus 21, and we get 184.4 meters squared total area. Now we're going to find the area of one tile. Now the area of one tile, we said it's 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. I'd sooner do 0.2 meters by 0.2 meters, because 20 centimeters is 0.2 of a meter. Remember, it's 20 divided by 100, which is 0.2. So area of tile is going to equal 0.2 by 0.2, which is 0.04 meters squared. Now, number of tiles is going to equal total area divided by area of one tile, which is going to be 184.4 divided by the area of one tile, which is 0.04. And we get 4,610 tiles. Is your answer. Okay, next question. The surface of the water in the swimming pool is 10 centimeters below the top of the pool. Find the volume of water in the swimming pool. Okay, well, if it's 10 centimeters below, 10 centimeters is 0.1 meters. So it's not 1.4 anymore, it'll be 1.3. The water height will be 1.3. So it's going to be 8 by 15 by 1.3, because it doesn't fill the box the whole way. 8 by 15 by 1.3, which will get me 156 meters cubed. Okay. Now, question 5. The coordinate diagram below shows the lines N, P, R, and S. The table shows the equation of each line. Okay, and then write the letters N, P, R, S to match each line to its equation. Okay, no bother. So you got to remember the formula y equals mx plus c. What this means is when you have an m, whatever number comes in front, so for example is y equals 2x minus 4. This means it has a slope of m is the slope, so this m is 2. This means it has a slope of positive 2, which means 1 across and 2 up, which is a steep slope. And then it crosses the y-axis at 0, minus 4. So this one here, you can see it's 1 across 2 up, 1 across 2 up. It must mean each block is worth 2. Okay, so each block is worth 2, which is handy for us. So this means that this one here is r. Let's look at the other one, 2x plus 4. Which one crosses at plus 4? Well, that's p, and once again has a slope of 2, so that's p. Now, y equals x, so it's y equals 1x, and then there's nothing here, so 1x plus 0. When you compare that to mx plus c, it's a slope of 1, which is 1 across, 1 up, and the c value is 0, which means it crosses at the origin, but it's positive slope of 1, so that means this one's n, and then by process elimination, this one must be s. Okay, so that's 5a done. 5b, complete the following sentences and use these to write one of the letters into the box. You can use a translation to map something onto the line something. Alright, so translation would mean you move all points the same way. So I can translate R. I can translate R onto P, I reckon. Yeah, see the way I can translate R onto P, or I can translate P onto R, because they're the same shape. Okay, because they're the same slope and the same shape. Okay, so P onto R or R onto P. So you can do R onto P, or you can do P onto R, whichever one suits you. I'll just leave R onto P. You can use axial symmetry in the y-axis to map line blank onto line blank. Axial symmetry in the y-axis means a mirror image in the y-axis. Well, you can see that these two are a mirror image of this blue line would be this line here. Slope of 1. See, it has to be the same distance on both sides. It has to be symmetrical, okay? So if you look at the back a second. So I think it's going to be the two lines, the x in the middle here. So I think you can map the, let's do this one here. I think you can map this green line, which is n. Everybody see n? I think you can map n by axial symmetry in the y-axis. So get this point here. Bring it through the y-axis, bring it out the other side is this point here. This is on the y-axis, so it stays the same. This point here, 2 across, 2 across. So you're essentially mapping the green line onto the black line. So n can be mapped onto s, or s can be mapped onto n using axial symmetry. S to n or n to s. The line blank is mapped onto itself under central symmetry in the point 0, 0. Central symmetry. Okay, so let's remember what central symmetry is again. Are you mapped onto yourself? Oh, so this is an interesting one. Take this point here, the red one, go through the go through the origin and come out the other side. Take so call this point A, call this point B. A is mapped onto B, but then B is mapped onto A. And C is up 2, across 2, up 2, across 2, up 2. C is mapped onto D, but then D is mapped onto C. So either answer of N or S is mapped onto itself through central symmetry. N or S. Okay, let's move on. Question 6. The equation of the line L is 5 plus y minus 2x equals 0. Find the coordinates of where L cuts the axis. Well, where it cuts the x-axis, or so where it cuts the y-axis, x equals 0, and where it cuts the x-axis, y equals 0. So you can either do x equals 0 to find out where it cuts the y-axis, or y equals 0 to find out where it cuts the x-axis. Let's start with the x-axis. We do y equals 0, so replace y with 0, and you're left with 5 minus 2x equals 0. 5 equals 2x when you move over to your side, and then x equals 5 over 2, or 2.5. Okay, the next one is y equals 0, or sorry, x equals 0. Okay, now put x equals to 0, and then we get 5 plus y. The 2 times 0 is still 0, so equals 0. Bring the y to the other side and get y equals minus 5, because plus 5 on the left makes minus 5 on the right. So we get 0 minus 5. Next thing we have to do is find the slope. Well, the slope, you could use the slope formula on the 2 points if you want. You could do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And you call that x2, y2, and call this one x1, y1. And then you could say it's minus 5 minus 0 all over 0 minus 2.5. And then you can say it's minus 5 over minus 2.5, which we all know is a slope of 2. Another way to do it would be to use y equals mx plus c, where you get y on its own. So bring the 2x and the 5 over the other side, and we get y equals 2x minus 5. And then we know that the slope is the m value, because y is on its own, so this means slope is m value is 2. And the intercept, the c value, is minus 5, which we already knew. It crosses the y-axis at 0 minus 5, so we already knew that information. Just to let you know you can do it more than one way. The line J goes through the point 11, 6 and is perpendicular to the line L. Well, if it's perpendicular to the line L, it means that it has to have a slope of slope of 2 is the same as slope of 2 over 1. Turn it upside down and you get a half, and change it from a positive number to a negative number. It has a slope of minus a half. So the slope of J is minus a half. Okay, and then C part 2 is probably going to be find the equation of J. Well, we can use the equation of the line formula, which is y minus y1 equals m bracket x minus x1. And what we can get here is y, call this x1 and this one y1. So it's going to be y minus 6 equals minus a half into x minus 11. Division of 2 on the right is multiplication of 2 on the left, so it should be 2y minus 12, multiplying by the minus 1, we get minus 1x plus 11. Bring everything onto one side, so we're going to get 1x plus 2y. It's going to be minus 12 minus 11, which is minus 23, equals 0, and that is the equation of your line. Okay, question 7. The diagram shows the triangle ABC. DE is parallel to BC. That's great. The sides of some angles are shown below. Find the value of x. Well, this is actually quite easy, because the angle ADE, has to equal 70 degrees, because it's a corresponding angle. It's corresponding to the angle ABC. Okay, and therefore what we can say is that 3 angles in a triangle have to add up to 180. So we can say 2x plus 3x plus 70 degrees equals 180. This implies that 5x is equal to 180 minus 70, which is 110. And then 110 divided by 5, x equals 22 degrees. Okay, happy days. B, given that AE is 100, AC, so AE is 100, so this one's 100. AC is 130, so this one here is 130. that would make EC 30. Okay, and what else does it want me to know? DE is 74. D to E is 74. What it wants me to find out is what is the size of BC. Well, we're going to do big triangle divided by small triangle. So here's the big triangle, which we call green. And then I'm going to just move this over to the right here. And we'll call this the small triangle. Okay. Just going to group it. Control group, like so. This is the big triangle. And this one here is the small triangle. Control group, and just make it that little bit smaller. Let's see if it fits in. Alright, roughly. Not really. It's not the way it's meant to be. Yeah, roughly like that, right? That's the triangle. That's just the triangle scale down, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the two triangles. And we're going to have a look at them as similar triangles. Now, both triangles are similar because they have a common angle, which is 2x. Okay, and then they both have they're both 70 degrees down here. And then obviously they're the same angle on the other side, okay? So what it says is A to C was 130. So this is the triangle ACB, which is 130. And then it says A to E, which is this one here, is 100. And then it gave us D to E. It says D to E is 74. And B to C is what we're looking for. So what we can say is we're going to do big over small because they're similar. So what we're going to say is 130 divided by 100, which is the big side, just divided by its smaller corresponding side, equals x, which is the big side, divided by 74. There we go. Now all we got to do is get this 74 and multiply it up. So x is going to equal 130 multiplied by 74 divided by 100. And that will equal x. I'm hoping x will equal 96.2, all going well. So multiply by 74. Then divide the answer by 100. And x is equal to 96.2. So that's grand. Okay. And that's question 7 done.